Welcome back to Populous Podcast. It is I, Charles, and what I'm going to be doing is something I should have done a few weeks ago, and that is give you my rankings on each candidate's performance in the Democratic debates. So I'm not going to spend too much time apologizing for how late this video is. I'm going to jump right into it with number 10, and number 10 could have easily been at number 9, but I think they warranted this ranking. So at number 10, Beto O'Rourke. Beto got destroyed by Bill DeBlasio on health insurance. He also got destroyed by Julian Castro on immigration policy, where Julian Castro dissected Beto's mealy mouth reason for allowing families to be separated and said he didn't do his homework. He basically exposed him. He was giving out platitude sandwiches that entire night, and he was also trying to speak Spanish. So he had more to lose than number 9 from a really bad debate performance. And really, there's not much else that could be said about Beto. He should probably drop out and never return to politics ever again. So anyway, number 9, probably the biggest tool on the stage, but still came in at number 9, John Delaney. He basically got destroyed by the moderators 4 or 5 times. It was pretty funny to rewatch and keep count. So not only that, but he also made himself come off as a tool when he said, "I'm for universal health care," while also saying that he's for keeping private insurance, meaning he really doesn't care about universal health care. So John Delaney, he is a 1990s politician. He basically thinks bipartisanship is going to fix anything, which it's really not. We've seen what the Republicans have done. The Republicans, for what it's worth, are brilliant politicians.
Anyways.
Number 8, this was probably the most forgettable performance of the night. Amy Klobuchar. And when I say forgettable, I mean when I was making this list, I forgot Amy Klobuchar was at this debate, and I had to look back at my notes to see who I was missing, because I only had 9 people when I made this list. So yeah, Amy Klobuchar, bunch of platitudes, not really much substance. Only gave one good answer. I don't even remember what that was on. So she really didn't say anything. She lied so hilariously when she said that she is not the establishment candidate. So basically, she didn't do herself any favors with her performance. I mean, she was polling at 2% before the night. She's going to stay polling at 2%. So nothing really changed at all. Number 7. Now, this is a tough one. I don't know who to put at number 7. I recorded this video before, and I still don't know who I would put at number 7 in this situation. So I'm going to say what I said in the original video, I guess. Number 7, Tim Ryan. Now, Tim Ryan, he was on track to have a top 5 debate. He was going to be in the top 5 before he was talking all the right things. He was talking about the forgotten man and forgotten woman in Ohio. He was talking about everything that was correct up until that moment when he said, "We have to stay in Afghanistan," and Tulsi Gabbard ripped him a new one. He also didn't know the difference between the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. How? Tim Ryan, just drop out, retain your seat in Congress, then try to win that Ohio Senate seat in 2022. He won a little bit of respect from me, but he proved why he didn't deserve to be president that night. Number 6, Jay Inslee. Now, Jay Inslee kind of surprised me. I thought he was just going to be a one-trick pony, deflect all his questions to be about climate change. But no, he actually gave some really thoughtful answers. He said the key to restoring the middle class is through unions, which I 100% agree with. He is 100% right on that. He said some things like how he installed a public option in Washington, which I mean, don't necessarily agree with, but it is what it is. The only thing else I have to say is he needs to talk more. He actually had the least amount of speaking time of anyone on that debate stage that night. So he had some really nice answers when he was talking, but he needs to talk more. All right. So, number 5. Now, this was a really big surprise. I thought number 5 wasn't going to do anything decent at all, but Cory Booker. He basically played that fake populism card time in, time out. He said he would never take cash from Big Pharma. Spoiler alert, he did. He tried to pander to Hispanic people by speaking Spanish. His Spanish was somehow worse than Beto's, and Beto was caught in a loop saying, cada persona. Cory Booker's so bad at Spanish, but anyway. He also gave a really bad answer on not going back into the Iranian nuclear deal. So, but Cory Booker, he knocked the Medicare for All question out of the park. He also gave a pretty good interjection about the LGBT community. So, Cory Booker wasn't a bad night. It was a decent night from him. So, gotta give credit where credit's due. Number 4, if you look at online results, if you look at all the snap polls after the debate, and you look at who was the most searched candidate, you would think this person won. So, number 4, Tulsi Gabbard. And let me get this out of the way. I really love Tulsi, okay? I think she's more progressive than Bernie on some things, okay? Other things, not so much. But I think she'd make a really good VP, okay? So, let me get that out of the way. Really like Tulsi, okay? Now, with that being said, she had an incredibly slow start. That first question that came to her about the pay gap, and she somehow turned it into an answer about bringing peace and ending war. How do you bridge those two things, Tulsi? I don't know how you bridge those two things. So that's the first thing. That was a really bad answer. She gave a really answer on the Medicare for All question she was given. After that, she destroyed Tim Ryan on the war in Afghanistan. She gave some pretty thoughtful answers on other things. She looked comfortable after the first hour or so. So, sorry. She kind of came into her own that last hour of the debate. She gave a really good closer about bringing peace to the United States and reinvesting that money. So, all in all, pretty decent night from Tulsi. She should probably speak up a bit more. She was one of the candidates with the fewest minutes of speaking. So, she definitely has to do better there. All right. So, number 3, someone who I completely didn't see coming, Julian Castro. Julian Castro absolutely took Beto to the shed on separation policy. I already covered that. All right. He lit up that answer too on immigration. Now, as I've been doing with everyone else, I'm going to give a negative about Julian Castro's performance. He looked really sleepy. He needs to get a bit more sleep before the next debate. Okay, let me put that out. He actually dropped the 1990s politician shtick, and it actually paid off. He looked pretty good up there, although he didn't give that good a closer. So Julian Castro at number 3, didn't see that coming. Number 2, this was another surpriser, Bill DeBlasio. Bill DeBlasio, he played his card right. He basically was trying to sound like Bernie up there, saying we gotta unite the working class. He gave some really good answers when it came to economic despair. He said, it's not the immigrants causing your problems, it's the rich, which is 100% true. He also said that war authorization should return to Congress, and he basically called Beto out on that, and that was another good answer. He basically, the entire night, just gave a whole bunch of really good answers. Now, the one really, really horrible answer that he gave was when he said that the greatest threat to national security, or I think it was the greatest geopolitical threat to the United States, was Russia. That was a really poor answer, and it took away from an almost perfect night from him. But what can you say? He at least had a really great closer. So Bill DeBlasio, number 2, really came out of nowhere. And number 1, if you haven't pieced it together at this point, it was Liz Warren. Liz Warren, she looked comfortable up there. She gave some good answers on the economy. She also gave a pretty good closer, I'd say. Started off but it got better. She kind of dodged a few questions, but it is what it is. Liz just played defensive with the lead she had, I believe, at that point 2 weeks ago. She was surging. In fact, I think she was already taking over second from Bernie at that point. So yeah, Liz just played defensive. It worked out. She ended up winning the debate. So that's all I have to say about night 1. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. This is a 2009 YouTube video, apparently, where I ask you to do all those things. Also, turn on that bell notification, guys. If you didn't like this video, I completely understand why. And my analysis of night 2 will be up soon enough. So yeah, bye.